I've said this many, many, many times before, but I am really the king of the YouTube um, fisherman content. you know, I don't say that with, you know, I think I'm probably the most, should we say, UK politics channel that talks about fish continuously because this was a massive issue that the Brexiteers brought up during the Brexit campaign. And so you'd think that the state that the British fishing industry is in, just only after a month of Brexit has kicked in to a point where many are now haven't even bothered to go out to go and catch fish because it's just a loss making option for them now. It will have huge impacts on these coastal towns, and many are now hoping that, maybe a free port can be set up close enough to them to try and save them. But as we've said before, these free ports aren't going to be good for our economy, let alone the local economy either. And as a result, today, unfortunately, we turn to the Yorkshire Post because one of Europe's largest shellfish ports is actually in Briglington. Again, not too far. Been to Briglington many times before in the past, as you do, as an alternative to Scarborough and all that. Skeg Vegas. um, but yeah, these are, this is what we warned against. But and I don't want to say I told you so because, again, this is unfortunate because this is a man who's losing his business, and that's hundreds of people. I don't want to say thousands. I hope it's not thousands, but hundreds of people are going to lose their jobs because of this. And this will have a massive knock-on effect to the local economy of the town as well. So, before we jump into the article, please do remember to hit that like and share button, and of course down below there's a link to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to all those people who do support me that way. So, on with the article. Like I say, this comes from the Yorkshire Post. So good Yorkshire newspaper. So the title is: Owner of the first lobster tank business in Europe and largest shellfish port is forced to close due to Brexit restraints. So, Baron Shellfish Limited, based in Briglington, East Yorkshire, is to close its door after 40 years of exporting lobsters and crabs to the EU. As a schoolboy, Sam Baron worked alongside his father to set up the first lobster tank business from scratch. Over the years, the business grew alongside Briglington Harbour, which became the largest shellfish port in the UK. So, making the closure announcement on Saturday, Mr. Baron said, Baron Shellfish Limited took advantage of the common market, increasing business by selling directly to customers in the EU. This meant we could competitively buy from our fellow merchants at Briglington, making us a more of a dispatch centre to the EU. This in turn meant the costing of conditioning, grading and packaging costs, etc. were kept in the UK. As you can appreciate, this meant more of the revenue created by the live lobsters stayed in the UK. It is now with deep sadness in my heart I write to inform you that I've had to let my business head over my rule over my heart and bring Baron Shellfish Limited to closure. At this time, we would like to thank all our customers and for all of those who have helped us throughout the years of their support. The Yorkshire Post previously highlighted how concerns were mounting with many businesses in the region that will abandon international trade as a result in the face of increased bureaucracy and administration caused by the UK's divorce from the European Union. We've highlighted this on a many occasion. We've said this would be a serious problem, and look at it, it's turning out to be a serious problem. I don't think we're going to feel the full effects yet, but as I think the year goes on, things are going to get even worse for especially the north. So much more worse. Um, I really do dread to think, but I but they are, and we warned against this. Businesses were warning against it, and now we've had, the announcement, a 68% drop in exports to the EU. That's a lot of businesses losing a lot of money. Sorry, I can't talk today. I don't know what's up with me today, but yeah, that's a lot of business with a lot of money gone. And like I say, one of the quotes I posted this week was from a British exporter who said, if you only knew how hard it was to grow exports just by 1%, and how much infuriating it is to lose something about 5%, you'd be completely incandescent with rage. So to lose about 68% is just criminal, it really is. So the leader of the East Riding Yorkshire Council, Colin Richard Burton, said that although this is very early days, it is very concerning a business has had to close down because of issues surrounding Brexit. He said that there is an element of disruption going on, and I am currently talking with business leaders and fishermen to establish whether it is a short-term disruption or if it is a long-term problem. We've talked about this many times. This is a long-term problem. These issues that they are facing are basically red tape issues. The only way to get rid of them is if we join the single market or customs union. That is the only way these red tape goes away. Only way. Anyway, he continues. We are very concerned, and we will be making inquiries as we want to ensure the fishing and the shellfish industry remain at the heart of Bridlington. It is a thriving industry for the town, and we want to make sure it stays that way, and we will keep a very close eye on it. The new Hull and East Riding Local Enterprise Partnership will have a look at the issue and make a point of talking to the government. It is early days, but we need to make sure that the parties are involved get a speedy solution. They ain't going to get a speedy solution. It will not surprise me if you see more of these stories, because I'm surprised this isn't a more of a national story. Well, actually, I think it is a national story, or becoming a national one. But I will not be surprised to see more fishing industry businesses close because of this. The UK is just not enough, and I know this sounds shocking, but the UK is just not a large enough market to import all these extra fish. It's pointless catching all these extra fish if no one wants to eat them. And as I've said many times, there are many problems facing the fishing industry, but one of them is that the fact that British people just don't eat fish. So, the government stressed that it is committed to ensuring that businesses get the support they need to, quote, trade effectively with Europe. Sorry guys, but the government has actively imposed measures and put even more red tape in place for trading with Europe, which has actively made it worse, which has caused this business running for well over 40 years, who the guy in charge said it himself, took advantage of the EU single market to grow the business. How many more businesses are out there like that now who grew because of their access to the single market are now like, what are we going to do? We either close or we descale. And that will mean job losses. Some more than less. But that's what we are facing, especially with the current, economic crisis that coronavirus is going to cause. This year is going to be, it's going to be bad, but I worry that it is just going to be another catastrophe after catastrophe. I really do worry of where this is going to put us in about a year's time, especially in this country, because a lot of people in the north were already very disillusioned, mostly because of Tory austerity, but also because the area hadn't recovered from the miners' strike and the deindustrialisation of the North caused by the Tories. We haven't recovered from the 2008 financial crash, still in the North here. And now you've got to add Brexit and the coronavirus that has caused on top of that. you know, um, it's not going to be good. And the people voted specifically for Brexit in the North to make their lives better. That is what the Brexiteers promised them, and what is what many of them will say the Brexiteers promised them. There are numerous interviews you can see of people in the North saying exactly that. So what's going to happen when their promised better place hasn't brought them to it? Certainly they aren't holding on to all these red wall seats. If Labour do their job right, they should easily be able to retake them all. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. And of course, like many people, I'm waiting for the next local election to see what happens. So, as always, please do remember to hit that like and share button. And of course, down below, there's a link to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and thank you to the people who do support the channel that way. So as always, see you all next time.